I'll read you what I put on Twitter today, and then we'll just discuss something else that is just typical of what's going on in politics. It's fair to say we have a large number of undesirable people from overseas here. If you're here and you're not undesirable, then there's no need to jump on the thread and start shouting about your contribution as an immigrant to this society, because I'm not actually talking about you, am I? I'm talking about the people who depend on the state, commit crimes and milk the system dry for nefarious reasons. It makes the national population feel insecure, especially when they see this section treated better than our own existing needy. We see what could be called favouritism. A secure nation is calm and quiet. When people take to the streets, it's because they're not being heard. We have increased censorship when we complain, even to the point of resulting in jail time. The Tories made the rules, and Labour love using them. We need to stop it. We need to fight on all fronts, digitally, in person, and in politics. We have one chance to avoid a state that will be disguised as a faux democracy, but it will, however, be a brand of communism. Digital ID leads to more intrusion, not safety. It's the gateway to controlling your choices, your income, and your behaviour. It doesn't have to be this way. I'm not looking for perfection or a party that will tick all my boxes. I'm willing to sacrifice certain things to gain others, but I won't accept the status quo, and I'll never accept the uniparty again. There you have it. Nobody on the thread's disagreeing. That's a good sign, isn't it? And you've only got to see the amount of people that turned out for the conference with the Reform Party. How many people are bothered about politics now, and how this infusion of people from all sides. You get people on mainstream TV now saying, oh, hang on a minute, you've got to understand why people are getting upset. It's just happening, it's bubbling up and bubbling up. That's a good thing, because that means that more people are aware of what's going on, and that will make them come to the ballot box when they get a chance to vote. You can't ignore, people say, oh, politics, voting doesn't make any difference. Well, I'll tell you what, if you think that, you look at what not voting did to us. Not voting gave us Keir Starmer. That's how he got in, because we didn't turn out. Not that there anything to bloody vote for. Rishi Sunak. I'd have more faith in a tap dancer than Rishi Sunak. What a wet lettuce. He's not a leader. Besides, I don't believe for 1 minute he was running country. I think it was Jeremy Hunt. I think that's who runs the bloody Tory party. The secret hand in the glove. So we've got to make sure that these people don't get back in. This is the best. The new policing minister, it's hot off the press. You can get the full story from Guido Fawkes. Just been out about 13 minutes. The new policing minister, good grief. They found out she worked with an outfit called Defund the Police. Can you believe how this country's going? The only good news is that Europe's worse. They just don't talk about it as much. We're a bit more vocal. It's not going to go on forever, because it can't go on forever, can it? Because we've had a bloody enough, have we? Starmer is getting weaker by the day. We get stronger by the day. And the feedback I'm getting from people who went to the conference is absolutely epic. The fringe events were full. Nigel Farage made an appearance at the Together Declaration, talking about how we should fight digital ID, because it's the gateway to complete control, which it is. That is one of the biggest things that we've got to fight. In fact, it's probably number one at this moment in time, because obviously you won't need to fight it if you get a proper government in, because they won't roll it out. So we've got to look out for these pitfalls. Together Declaration do a really good job. I mean, Alan Miller, I don't know what time he gets up in the morning, but he's out there. If there's a farming protest, he's there. At 6 o'clock in the morning, he's doing it. And I really do think he puts the effort in. So there's quite a lot of people I know. Together Declaration shouldn't be poo-pooed, because they're the ones that stopped the mandate for the frontline NHS workers, which is a good thing. We need that. We need that sort of welly. I've worked with Alan for quite a bit now, and he's tenacious. And there's a lot of people in these WhatsApp groups, journalists and commentators, doctors, that are trying their best to push back, and it's having an effect. Because more people, what I talk about now, I used to get ridiculed for 3 years ago. Now it's kind of quite normal. So we are making progress, but I had to laugh. A lefty journalist who writes for The Observer was trying to ridicule the conference for reform, saying that it was too glitzy and too entertaining. No, if you entertain people, they'll stay focused, they'll stay with you. If you're dull and boring, I had to laugh at Fraser Nelson when he said the Labour Party conference is like Davos on Mersey. I mean, it's not known for its sense of humour, is it? Davos on Mersey, and he said that the Tory Party conference is like a good-humoured wake. And he was surprised at how many of the fringe events, he particularly walked away when Farage was having one of his speeches in the main auditorium to see how the fringe events were doing. They were packed. So it isn't just about one person. And what you've got to look at, there's a lot of little organisations that are kicking up a fuss and trying to do their thing. I mean, Douglas Murray does an amazing job. Obviously, he's done it for years. And he's got a think tank thinking about things. So as long as we're all thinking, that's one of the main things, isn't it? So I do try and keep a smile on my face, even though, I look in my purse every week and there seems to be a bit less, they've got chocolate under lock and key in my chocolate under lock and key in my supermarket, and steaks have a security tag. Bloody hell. What have we come to? Butter behind a lock. Can I have some butter, please? How much do you want? Well, can I have two packets? You know it's gone bonkers, don't you? You do. You know it's gone bonkers. And you know we can't go on. And whatever it is I'm doing, I'm trying my best to fight back. Another belter from Guido. The Labour-linked Hope Not Hate, you know them, have branded reform a genuine far-right political threat. That's odd, because half at far-right don't think it's far-right enough on far-right, do they? They want it to be more far-right than what it is. They call it centrist. Is this not just opinion now? Are we not suffering from opinion here? And if you don't think you've had enough, let's have a bit more punishment. The Sun reports that the judge, Sir Robert J, sympathised with an Al-Qaeda fiend, Haroon Haswat, 50, who will be released from hospital to Yorkshire despite police fears he remains a threat. The judge has sparked fury by wishing the 7/7 bombing mastermind all the best. All the best! All the best, like he's saying ta-ra to his nan. This is a judge, Sir Robert J. We've lost the plot. So there was this disdainful comment from Tom Larkin, who writes for The Observer. The Observer. Yeah, left in every hairdresser's, isn't it, The Observer? And after he basically slagged Andrew Jenkins off, man, I do think his singing was a bit silly. But nevertheless, the show was magnificent, as in the whole conference. And it went down well. There's no other way of saying it. Even lefty journalists were saying it went down well. But no, not Tom. Tom has to nitpick and say it was rubbish and how much better Labour are at doing conferences. No, they're not. They're all up and down in lanyards from lobbying groups to affect government policy from big corporations. No problem there, is there? So he's going on about this and he's slagging off a scene for his take on Big Pharma, which I think is pretty sensible, and saying that basically we're an echo chamber and nobody thinks like that. And I said, I'm sorry, Tom. So I wrote this back to him. He did respond, actually, quite polite. So, but sorry, Tom, but in the part of the world where I was born, I never saw fish and chips wrapped in The Observer. I've never seen it read by any scaffolders, and it's not handed out in the hairdressers. It's read by a cosseted class that saw lockdown as a time to breathe, to let the black planet heal and see their offspring benefit from the homeschooling as mummy does Pilates on the lawn. Unlike Shirley with 3 kids under 10 and 1 laptop between them, stuck in a terrace on a bypass where her first blade of grass is about 20 minutes walk away, bills piling up, no job because the job she would have gone back to has now finished because of lockdown. Trust me, there's millions that see the way consecutive governments have destroyed any hope of a future in this now miserable country. Reform gives people that hope back. They won't be guinea pigs for Big Pharma, they won't be taxed to death, and they won't have to see chances languishing in hotels, eating better food and getting everything for free. Anyway, so, well, he said lockdown was clearly more difficult for some people. Too bloody right it were, Tom. You see, the trouble is, the journalist class, the journalists, they're sat at home, they're working from home half a week. And it's not hard, is it? I mean, I'm doing this for free, so how hard can it be doing it for a wage? Churning stuff out. All right, they'll do it a bit tidier than me. They won't make all typos, but it's still not exactly going down pit, is it? They make me laugh. Anyway, we're still bonkers here in Britain, and we still look at the news. I mean, I've never used that emoji so much that one goes, what? What else can you do?